Saturday is Sun Stakes Day at Mohegan Sun Pocono Downs. It's going to be a great day of action with a completely new format. We have lots of stakes action on the card. We're going to take a look at the Pick 5, which is an all-stakes Pick 5, 4 big stakes races and 1 invitational that starts in race number 8. Matt's along to join me to talk about the races, and race number 8 is a $75,000 Trot, the Sebastian K. Obviously, this race goes through Atlanta, but I think there's quite a few other horses in here that have a shot, and I think that's the way you went when you looked at your Pick 5.
Yeah, you mentioned that the sequence is 4 stakes races at an invitational, but honestly, this is the invitational, and this you could slap a stakes moniker on this race because you got all the top aged trotters here. Going for 75 grand, and yeah, you say the race goes through Atlanta, but you can make a case that the race goes through When Doves Cry, Hypnotic AM, Ready for Money. All these guys have shown up all season long with top efforts, and yeah, there are no, in my opinion, there are no standouts here, and you could look at 4 or 5, perhaps even 6 contenders here.
On my ticket, at least, the way I looked at this was there are some horses I like as favorites later on in the sequence. So I'm going to try and beat Atlanta in this race and toss her off my ticket. I went with When Doves Cry, the 1, and the 3, Ready for Money. For me, Ready for Money is my top pick. She's facing the girls here. Had some tough luck, basically. Just been a victim of bad luck in the Cashman and the Hambo Maturity. Just bad trips have done him in. I'm hoping we'll see a little bit more early speed from him, or at least enough where he makes a quick early brush. They're only going for 75,000 here rather than 200 or 400,000. So I think they'll probably let him go if he makes that brush. And I don't know. I like his chances here. I like When Doves Cry also because she's got a little bit of a tactical edge with her early speed. And the way I look at this race is Atlanta is probably going to be more patient. I think Jan Ginger is going to be more patient this week with Atlanta and go for a little bit of a different kind of trip and not get crazy aggressive here. And that's why I'm going to go without her on my ticket.
Okay, well, I mean, I basically went 5 deep here with the 5 logical contenders, 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I kind of agree with you in Atlanta, but you're kind of talking like, like she's going to be like some huge favorite or something like that. And I don't think she is. I think she deserves to be the favorite, and she deserves to be the favorite practically every race that she's in, unless she's facing Manchego. But you don't see that one in here. But I went 5 deep. When Doves Cry, logical, Ready for Money, like I mentioned. Yeah, just got roughed up his last couple of starts. Hypnotic AM, you never know when she shows up with Brian Tibbs with the top effort, Atlanta. And Lindy the Great, who was my top pick in the Cashman and only got beat half a length or so, didn't have a huge knockout punch that I was hoping for, but he shows up with 100% effort week in and week out. So I hate to get beat by him here. Let's put it that way. So 5 deep in this pretty intriguing $75,000 open.
Well, now that Matt went 5 deep, we all know Atlanta's going to win at 4-5, so that's pretty much a lock in here. We're going to move on to race number 9, the $250,000 James Lynch Memorial. Another really strong field here, and what's interesting is the horse that's perfect, Hot Mess Express, 7 for 7. She's got post 9.
Yeah, undefeated this year, 7 for 7. Post 9 makes it interesting for her because she's going to have to work way harder than she has to keep her perfect record intact. This horse has gotten a little notoriety being owned by a celebrity ex-basketball player, Sam Bowie. He's got a nice filly here, that's for sure. But again, you know what? You can make a case for a handful of these with certainly no standout. Grace Hill is the slight morning line favorite. Firestart Hanover's 5-1. We'll certainly see some action as she does every week. You know what? I have keys later in the card, and I later in the sequence, and I use keys plural. So I did another spread here, going 4 deep. Again, 4 logicals, and I'm pretty confident one of them will win, 4, 5, 7, and 9. But I kind of like Blue Diamond Eyes that I might focus in on a little bit stronger. Just an ultra consistent filly from the Ron Burke barn with Yanni Gingran. You can say that for most of the horses in Ron Burke's barn. But she's got 9 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, 4 thirds. She always shows up. She's going for 4 straight herself, and she might be an okay price here. Maybe higher than that 3-1 morning line.
I went 3 deep in this race: Grace Hill, Blue Diamond Eyes, and Hot Mess Express. I didn't use Firestart Hanover. Just too many seconds for me. 3 out of her last 4 starts have been seconds. I think she's going to be overbet coming off a race where the driver basically took her back to last at 1-9 and charged home late. And I don't know. I see her taking more money than is warranted. Not that she doesn't have a shot in here. She certainly does. I kind of like Hot Mess Express as my top pick because I think we're going to get value on a horse that's 7 for 7. And maybe she's a great horse, and great horses overcome, bad posts. So I went 5, 7, and 9 in here. We're going to move on to race number 10, the Delmonica Hanover. $250,000 on the line for these trotters. And we look at this field, and I think, again, you're going to have 2 or 3 horses that are going to take the bulk of the money. And I think those are going to be You Had a Dream, Maserati, and Darlene Hanover likely.
Yeah, it's interesting you didn't mention the Oki Svanstedt entry here. That's listed as the morning line favorite, but neither. Sure, one or both can be right there, and one of them could win, but neither one of them kind of blow you away in terms of, current form. Flawless Country was a Hamble Oaks finalist, picked up a check, so that's okay. But meanwhile, I did zero in on a key here, the horse I hope I get a little bit of value on, which is the 5 Darlene Hanover. Brett Biddle, and you have Todd McCarthy driving for the picking up the drive again after finishing 4th in the Hamble Oaks, where she was used pretty hard and got worn down by the eventual winner, and really was no shame in that effort. And I like the way that she's trending. It's a perfect mid-pack post 5 for number 5. Which is generally great on a 5/8 mile track, and I think Todd McCarthy has options with her, and I just think she's coming to this race, peaking at the getting better, and I just like her in this spot. I think You Ought to Dream is going to be probably overbet a little bit. Maserati, I'm not thrilled with, and the other Luke Swallow trainee, May Carp, maybe too far outside, but. You know what? If I can get 4-1 on my key, I will be very happy with that. And then we can move on.
If you can get 4-1 on Darlene Hanover, I'll be surprised. She's also my top pick in here. I really like the fact that she's back on Lasix. The Hambletonian doesn't allow Lasix, so she couldn't race on that in the Oaks, and now she's back on it. I think she was a little bit flat late in that race, but still. She's one of the top horses here. I really think we're going to see a lifetime best mark from her come this Saturday. I also used You Had a Dream on my ticket. Just had absolutely no shot in the Oaks. Came home, charged home really nicely from post 9. She was 10th at the top of the stretch and ended up finishing 6th. I think from the inside post, you're going to see driver Jeff Gregory press on the gas early, and she'll be firing out of there. I didn't use Maserati on my ticket, mainly for the fact that I think she's going to be overbet in this spot. I think she's going to be the favorite here with Tim Tetrick taking over in the bike for trainer Lucas Wallen, and that's why I went without her. Not because I don't think she can win. I do think she can win. And just to close it out, if Flawless Country and Wet My Whistle are the favorite at post time, I will be the most surprised person in the room. We'll move on to race number 11. That's the Max Hempt Memorial, $300,000. And to me, this race is without a doubt the best race on a great card.
Yeah, generally you can say that the 3-year-olds, a lot of the top 3-year-olds are in what's been a hard to figure division this year, have shown up for this race, and yeah, this is a great event and a great betting race where you can make a case for. I would say 6 or 7 of them you can make a legitimate case for. And we're not looking at any odds-on favorite. I'd be surprised if anyone's odds-on. I suppose Perfect Sting is going to be the favorite again, but you really can't make a strong case for taking a short price on her. I did go 4 deep. Figure I could afford to with this 20-cent base and having a key already in the third leg. So I went 4 deep again using 1, 4, 6, and 7. Lawless Shadow placed first in the Meadowlands pace. We all know that. A little disappointing that he came back in a couple of gold events up in Canada and lost at Georgian and then was roughed up and backed up at Woodbine Mall Park. I think should be fine from this spot, pushing out from the gate. I use Perfect Sting. I'm not in love with her, but listen, it's not like he's not the undefeated horse he was as a 2-year-old, but it's not like he's been shown up with any bad efforts. Hullabaloo, we saw the Meadowlands Pace finalist. We saw the Adios winner. It's about time this guy gets a little bit more respect, and might get around 6-1. And Rocky Road Hanover, it might be a bit of a tough spot, and he probably needs a trip from out there. But he was great in the Cane Pace, grinding first over, and it's just a question if he can get close enough. So I went 4 deep, 1, 4, 6, and 7. If I had to go with a top choice, I'm honestly not 100% sure. I'd probably have to see how the odds play out and look for the most value. But 4 deep, 1, 4, 6, and 7. I did not use Southwind Gendry. Yannick Gingras for the Burke Barn. He hasn't really impressed me, and I think from that spot he's got to be aggressive, and he might get worn down and not have enough late. So I did toss him, but clearly he can win.
I ended up going 5 deep in here, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Lola Shadow obviously has speed from the inside and just a brutal trip last time. Southwind Gendry, you mentioned you don't like. One of the things I do like is that he added Lasix last time, and I thought he was a little bit better. And sometimes second time on Lasix, you improve even further. So I thought that was worth a look. I'm not sure why the horse hasn't raced in 3 weeks. Maybe it was just scheduled. The 4 Perfect Sting has been on the lead in most of his starts. I think you're going to see an off-the-pace effort here today. I just have a feeling they're going to try different tactics, and those tactics worked out in the Gears 2 starts back, so maybe we'll see them here. My top pick was more of a value top pick, and I went with American Courage. I think had some excuses, the Meadowlands Pace. I know I pick the horse every single week, and that's why you're chuckling, but look at his lines. The Meadowlands Pace elimination, there's really no chance there. The pace was too slow. The Meadowlands Pace final, he had post-10 and was wiped out. The Cane Pace, he had the thumps, which I won't get into what the condition is. You can read it on DRF.com. There'll be a story.
I was just going to ask you, what was that word again?
It's the thumps. It's basically like hiccups in a horse, where the diaphragm, makes irregular movements and stuff, and it affects their condition. He's clearly gotten over that because he came back at Yonkers, raced really well. I think he's 10-1 on the morning line. I'm not convinced that this horse isn't as good as all the other horses yet. I actually told trainer Travis Alexander on the phone the other day, I said, I'm giving you one more shot here. You got to go out and prove it, because if you don't do it this time, you're done. You're off my list. The 6 Hullabaloo, you know what? He's just an honest horse. He shows up with a good effort every single week, and you're probably going to get 4, 5, 6-1 on this horse again. Why not use him? The only reason why I'm not using Rocky Road Hanover is there's just too much talent inside of him. It's really hard to close from the back at Pocono. I just don't think this is the right spot. And I just want to throw in that Chase H. Hanover comes off 2 straight 8 holes. I don't think he can win the race, but he could definitely be involved at what could be a really big price. We're going to move on to race 12 because we're running out of time. The $300,000 Earl Beal Memorial. I think this race is going to take a lot less time to handicap for both of us. I went 2 deep with Captain Corey and Johan Palema. Listen, the race goes through Captain Corey. He's going to have no shoes again by all accounts, according to a story I just read. I'm throwing Johan Palema on my ticket because other than that one Hambletonian elimination where he just wasn't any good for some reason, his lines look just as good as Captain Corey, and he's right there with him. I think they're stablemates. So I can't see if Yannick guns out of there that Oki's going to park him out with Captain Corey. So I figured he's going to be in a decent position to win. Why not throw him on my ticket at what should be a decent price? But Captain Corey's the horse to beat, and I'm sure that's where you went.
Yeah. So I mean, you went too deep here. The one entry and the 6. You mentioned you threw on Johan Palaima. I mean, while throwing him on doubles your ticket price, but I can't look past Captain Corey. Perfect starting spot from the inside. Swans that he will be cutting his mile. I don't care who leaves or at some point he's going to be on the front. He's going to have to be caught, and I don't see the Hamiltonian winner getting caught here. I mean, we did in the Hambo, in the elimination and in the final. He's going to be a short price, and he has an entry mate, Delayed Hanover, starts right to his outside in post 3. That's certainly no slouch. We saw him in the Hambo final. He got a little leg weary late after Yannick kind of chased him along to protect the rail position. But he was an elimination winner from off the pace, and that's pretty good insurance. But obviously, Captain Corey is going to be a heavy favorite and the one to beat. And I don't see any reason not to key the horse, especially since it's a budget ticket with spread and the other legs. I don't see anybody that catches him, so I'll take the short price, and that's it.
Let's take a look at my ticket since you mentioned ticket price. I believe I put it up there as a $24 ticket. There it is, popping up on your screen. And listen, there's nothing saying you can't take a second ticket for $12 and key Captain Corey a second time, so you have more coverage on Captain Corey than you have on Johan Palaima. I think that, quite frankly, makes a lot of sense. But this is a 20-cent play. It's cost $24, and I believe Matt has undercut me on budget and gone down with a $16 play if we see his ticket.
Yeah. Yep, I only have a $16 play by virtue of the 2 keys. So, you know what? Obviously, Captain Corey. Hopefully we get to the final leg. And we need a short price to finish out the ticket. But you know what? It's like taking $16 and instead of putting it to win on Darlene Hanover, let me spread around in the other legs and try to get a little bit of value in one of those other legs. I don't have any bombs in those 3 legs, but they are. There's no huge favorite, and the money is going to be spread, as quite often happens with a 20-cent ticket. And you know what? The more they spread, the more kind of dead money there is in the pool, and I think the more value you tend to get. So for $16, certainly cheap enough, and there you go, 20-cent play. You know what? Hit repeat if you like it, and best of luck if you follow along with me.
For your sake, let's hope Atlanta and Perfect Sting don't win, because if they do, you might lose money on your $16 ticket.
Well,
but
you know what?
Time will tell.
I honestly don't think so. But I honestly don't think so. I don't think they're huge favorites.
We'll see what happens
right.
when it's all settled out. Free PPs are available on DRF.com. You can watch all the races for Sun Stakes Day on DRF as well. And it's a 12:30 post time this year, so arrive early.
Afternoon card. I might throw a couple people off. Afternoon card. That's correct.